Hello friends, happy Thursday. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. We are having a heck of a storm here, really high winds and rain, and I think right before I got ready to come on here I could hear something banging around out back, and I think that it's broken the cover on our patio. So there's that. All right, so other than that, I'm ready to do some crafty business here. All right, so if you watched my haul video, that was the last video I did. After I did that video, I had another small little order come in from Simon Says Stamp, which was, they had their, I don't know, maybe they're still having it. They call it December, where they have deals on their own brand of dies. And I just thought this little bird die was so cute. I love bird stuff. And so I got the bird die, and then I got this little snowman. The snowman was free. So that's what the snowman die set looks like. So this little group here is all one die, and then that, and this is all one die. I suppose you could try to cut it apart, but it's basically all one die except for the heart is separate. But he's cute. And then this is what the bird die looks like. So the wing and the bird, main part of the bird, is one die. And then this little piece here goes behind the head like that, for the beak, and then the eye. So I am going to do some hidden paper clips today as bookmarks. The last 2 years I have done blind date with a book at the craft fair that I take part in, and they really went over well. So I like to make some little things to go in the pockets of that, the way it gets packaged up. And so little bookmarks or page ephemera or whatever is something I like to do. So that's what I'm doing today. That's what I'm working on. So let me just, I went ahead and die cut my pieces. I didn't think you needed to watch me do all the die cutting. So what I did was I was going to cut the bird out of, oh, I forgot to show you one other thing I got from Simon Says Stamp. It was this sheer shimmer craft spray, and actually that is why I went to their website. Can you see all that frosty goodness in there? That is why I went to their website. Somebody showed this, and I wanted some, so let me find a piece of scrap to spray so you can see how yummy it is. I'm digging in the garbage. Okay, let's see. That's the piece I sprayed earlier when I was playing with it. Do I have a piece big enough? Oh, grief. Let me just get into my scrap bag. It's exactly what I was hoping it was going to be. Now, when I sprayed it earlier today, it just did one whole fine mist. Can you see it? I got some, oh, here is how. Yeah, you just have to spray from far away. And now it's on my skin too, which is fine. I don't mind being sparkly. but I don't know if you're going to see it because glittery stuff doesn't show up too well on the camera, but it's gorgeous. And here is the overspray on. Anyway, that was the other thing I got. And yeah, it says spray 8 to 12 inches, so I should have held it a little further away. It's from Imagine is the company, and this I got the color Sparkle, which is really just, you know, no color to it, but just wonderful fine glitter spray. So that was that. All right. Let me see here. Anyway, I was going to use that, and then I remembered that I have this. And so I wanted to try my technique today of just blending with brushes straight onto this glitter paper, which I don't know if you can see that it's glittery, but this paper is smooth. There's no texture of the glitter to it. And I got this from Amazon. And here's the, you know, that number, because there's no name on it. It just says new cardstock. And actually, after the video, what I will do is go onto Amazon and get the link for it. Because this stuff is, it's nice because it's just so smooth, and it works for what I want to do today. Okay, so I showed you the bird die that I'm playing with. I'm also using from My Creative Time. This is the Eyelet Doily dies, so it's got these really cute little kind of heart flowers on it, and I'm using the smallest one. So let me just bring my little birdie in, and so can you see the sparkle, the shimmer to it at all? So the die cut embosses, I don't know how else to call that really pretty design on the bird and then on the wing. And I need to poke some of these little things out from die cutting it. One more. There we go. Okay, so that's ready. And then I thought I want to play with Sweet Sorbet. I don't think that I got to play with this color very much before Stampin' Up! Retired it. And it's just a pretty red color, kind of like a strawberry. So that is the color I'm going to play with. And I am going to make a pretty reddish color bird. I really love making the hidden paper clips. There's so many different things you can do, like making little cute things with pockets and stuff like that for your junk journals, or even for maybe in your Bible or whatever book that you might be reading. You can use them as a bookmark. But I love the junk journal stuff. Okay, so there's that. Then I'm just going to come down on the top really lightly here, so we get sort of an ombre fade kind of thing going on. Pretty. I'm trying to debate if I want to come back in with like a darker red towards the bottom. Maybe. So, do I want to do, let's try real red and see what happens. Oh, and it does take a little bit of drying time on this glitter paper, I noticed. So you just want to keep that in mind and try not to get like your fingerprints picking up the color off of it. Okay, I think we'll go with that. And then the little wing, maybe I will just do this red on the wing. Let's see what happens here. Because I kind of want the wing to be darker. There we go. Just need to push down harder with my brush. Okay, that's pretty. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, it was somebody, one of you that used that shimmer spray, and I think, and that's why and it might have been you, I can't remember, it was recently, and I thought, ooh, I think I need some of that. Okay, so we will let that dry a bit, and then I brought out a yellow and a gray for the beak because some birds have gray beaks and some have yellow, but I'm gonna do yellow for this little birdie, and I'm using Stampin' Up's Dark Daffodil Delight. So I'm just going to put that there, and then I'm going to put some black on here. This is dark basic black for the eye. Doesn't matter, this is just going to show from the little hole there. I'm going to set that there and let that dry while I do the next step. Get some of this inkiness off my fingers here. Okay, so I've got a stack of these things because I cut them out earlier. So here's the cute little doily, and I'm gonna need 2 of those. And then I've got a piece of scrap, and actually I wanted to tell you, I cut my little doilies out of 100-pound cardstock that I get at Michael's. So it's a thicker cardstock. And is this, okay, here's my paper back here. This is just a regular weight cardstock that I'm going to be using for my next step. I've got a punch that is 1.5 inches. And I'm going to fold my little strip of cardstock here down. And this piece is going to go between my little doilies here to make the hidden paper clip thing. So I'm going to put it in my punch, but I'm going to leave a hinge at the top. So I'm not going to shove my paper all the way through. I don't want 2 separate circles. I want a hinge at the top. So that is why I'm leaving a space there, if you can see that. So that's what that looks like. All right, let me grab a paper clip. And since I'm working with something smaller here, I'm using just a normal small regular paper clip. And I'm going to clip that right over that hinged part there. And then for this, you can use hot glue. You could just use regular craft glue. I just like to make sure that it's extra strong, and I have this ginormous roll of carpet tape that I've had forever. The brand on it is called Intertape. So I'm just going to cut a little strip of this off. So it's sticky on one side and then it's got peel away paper on the other side. And you know, it's funny how many things you can find in like a hardware store or Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever that we can use in our crafting. Okay, so I am going to just put this across that paper clip there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And then let me just peel away, if I can grab onto it, this top little, there it is. There we go. And then I'm going to add more glue, not over the top of the tape, but just where the tape isn't. I'm even going to put a little bit right there on that piece of the paper clip that's not covered. Then I'm just going to center it here on this little doily so I'm not covering up any of the holes that are die cut out there. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain and the wind. It's just been awful all day today. Okay, and we'll put the glue on this side, just like on the other side. And then, you know what else? I wanted to put a little bit of glue right up here on the top edge, just over those 3 scallops right there. And then hopefully I can get this lined up without getting things too stuck together until I want them to be. That looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to kind of hold that where I put the glue up there at the top. That's going to be the top of the paper clip, and make sure that I can see that the inside of the little, this part is getting stuck to the doily part, and it is. And that's all stuck at the top there, so that's good. When I was thinking about making these earlier, I was going to use patterned paper. I was going to cut the white out for like the backing piece, and then I was going to cut patterned paper to be right behind the bird. But after I got the white on here and held my little bird up to it, I liked that. I liked the white. So okay. So I'm gonna get a little wipe so I can wipe my fingers off, because I can see that I am transferring some of that ink onto my white, and I don't want to do that. And you know how I am with my inky fingers, but aren't we all? I'm hoping I'm not the only one that gets inky fingers when I craft. Hi, Sue. Yeah, we still have electricity. I'm hoping that I don't lose it while we're doing the video here. Out at our store, the electricity out there in Toledo was out for quite a while this morning, and then it finally came back on. I kind of thought it was going to be out for the day, so I was really surprised when it came back on. Okay, so now let's put the little birdie together. It's so cute. We'll do this face part first. So I'm just going to put glue here by where the beak's going to go and around the eye. And then you just want to get the beak where it needs to be and make sure that none of the edges are showing. Cute. Okay, where does little wing go? Here it is. Now the wing you can put however you want. If you want to have it up like this, like it's flying, you can. However you want to position it, it's all up to you. I'm going to use, since we're working with that different kind of paper there, glitter paper, even though it's smooth, I'm using some glue dots. Two ought to be enough, I think. Oh, I think this little bird is so cute. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm just going to open that wing up a little bit there. Too cute. All right. Looks like this is all stuck together pretty well. And you can pop it up if you want, but keep in mind that this is most likely going to go into a book or a journal or something. So I'm just going to glue it flat. The tail's going to hang over, so I don't need to put any glue on the tail. And I want to make sure where my top is here. cute? Okay, so let me get something to put this onto. I'll just use the little package here. So there's how it works. It just slides right over your page. And so if you want to make your clip going the sideways like this to be on the side of a page, I mean, still have it this direction, but turn your paper clip that way, and it can go onto the side of a page that way instead of onto the top. But you could also clip this onto like a pocket inside of your journal or whatever. I think it's cute. And then I made a blue one earlier. I thought I'd do one kind of every color of the rainbow. So here's the blue one that I did, and I used Azure Afternoon was the color of Stampin' Up! Ink that I did for that one. So I just think they're so cute. Okay, I'm gonna make another one if you wanna hang out with me, or you can just craft along while I'm crafting. All right, so I'm gonna grab another little birdie. And what color do I want to do this bird? Maybe I'll do yellow. So lemon lolly maybe? Daffodil Delight. I'm thinking lemon lolly, and if I need to come in with a little bit darker, I can do the daffodil. Let me grab a brush to do yellow with. What are you guys working on today? Are you being crafty and working on anything? Curious minds want to know. Thanks, Sue. All right, so let's see. Maybe with this one, I will do dark top down, because like on the sample, that's kind of what they did. So I haven't tried dark from the top down yet. So let's try that. And then we'll fade out to lighter at the bottom. And I think I am going to have to use a darker yellow. Oh, I didn't poke out the little thingies on this wing. Sue's wrapping presents. I had 2 to do this morning that I got done. And I think that's probably it for my present wrapping. I've already wrapped some others. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this whole wing with the lemon lolly, and then I will come back with a darker yellow. So let's try Daffodil Delight. Definitely is darker. This one's going to look like a little canary. Oh, that's kind of pretty, I think. And do I want the, oh, that looks cute with the wing being a little bit lighter. I think I'll just come down at the bottom of it with a little bit darker and leave it light towards the top. Okay, we'll go with that. Get my fingers wiped off again. And let me cut another piece of this stuff. Now I'm excited to do a purple one, or lavender. I need to do Roy G. Bibb. Well, they're going to be more pastel colors, but I've got my red. Ooh, then I need to do orange. I'm doing yellow, green, R-O-Y-G, Biv. I've got the blue, indigo. Okay, I get confused when it comes to indigo. And then violet would be the more purpley lavender, but I've got blue, so what do I do for indigo? I mean, I just get confused on that color. My husband is home now and the dogs will be happy. Todd does not like the stormy weather. His eyes get so big and he will go sort of, he doesn't hide under anything, but he just will go out and stand in our breezeway or try to get behind my legs. He just doesn't like it, and Tula is like, whatever. It's just no big deal to her, but Todd, he didn't used to be that way until just like the last year or so, when he started being a scaredy cat of the weather for whatever reason, because they are little chihuahuas and they are not out in the weather. I can guarantee you that. They are in the house. So I'm not sure. I think it's just the noise because the wind and everything gets so loud. And then the thunder. And I have one of those little thunder vest things that we had for one of our doxies. And so I tried putting that on him when we were having a thunderstorm. It might have helped a little bit, but not a great amount of help. Okay, oh, and then let me put some at the top here again. Hey Ken, I'm doing my video, but did you see the text I sent you about the cover on the... Okay, thanks. Okay, I think that is stuck down. So let's do our little birdie. Oh, I didn't do the... So I think I'm gonna do the beak on this one gray. It's actually, yeah, this is dark smoky slate. Let me see what this looks like. Maybe it should be more of a brown. Let me see what this looks like. Yeah, I think I'll try that color rather than gray for the beak on the yellow bird. Hello, Kelly. Indigo is dark blue. Okay, so, all right, so here's my little light blue, so I will use a darker blue color then for the indigo one. Thanks, Sue. All right, so let me color this for the beak. I like that the die cuts a little slit there so you can see the separation of the beak. Oh, can you guys hear that? Ugh. Some of the gusts today, I don't know what they've been, what speed they've been, but significant, I can just say that. I don't know how people live in where there's hurricanes and stuff, because just the winds we get here are plenty enough for me. Okay, let me put some glue on here. It's just a weathery day, that's all. That looks cute. I don't know if it's blurring. I don't think so. I think you can see it there. Okay, so now we need to get a little wing on. Maybe I will make this one going up. Cute. Now, if the back was going to show it all, I would make another piece of white to back it with, because I wouldn't like that. I know the tail feathers show a little bit, but when it's over the page it doesn't. All you see is the doily, so really it's no big deal. When it's off, see, you see the tail a little bit, but I mean, it's meant to be on a page, so I think it's fine. All right, make sure where my top is here. There it is. Oh, that wind. It's kind of scary. Okay, there's the top. So yeah, I think I've got it sitting right. And then we can pull this up a little bit here. And if you wanted, you could put a little, well, you could put like double glue dots, one glue dot on top of the other, just to keep that popped up a little bit if you wanted to. I think you could also put like dimensionals, like the little mini ones, up right under there. But I like the top of the wing to be flat. So cute. I just think they're adorable. Adorable. All right, well, there's 3 of the 7 colors. I think that's probably good for now. Let's do story time. We still have some of this Zen book left to read. Oh, and look at this. I know we read this, but I'm going to read it again since we did birds. This one says, the bird in a forest can perch but on one bough, and this should be the wise man's pattern. That's funny, since I was doing birds. Even our enemy is useful to us, because in order to practice compassion, we need to practice tolerance, forgiveness, and patience, the antidotes to anger. A little wisdom is a stumbling block on the way to Buddhahood. 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 I've not heard that word before. By your stumbling, the world is perfected. Those in a hurry do not arrive. Look at this toad. The first sign of your becoming religious is that you are becoming cheerful. Having failed to distinguish thoughts from things, we then fail to distinguish words from thoughts. We think that if we can label a thing, we have understood it. Okay. I'm going to stop there. I can't remember if I bought this little book or somebody bought it for me. I love all the little mini books I have, and about the only place I find them anymore is like in thrift shops or eBay. Anyway, I just think these little birds are just so cute. I'm anxious to do all the other colors now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I really appreciate it since it's such a busy time of year. I do appreciate every time that you hang out with me. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked my video. Oh, what's everybody saying here? You're, oh, Kelly, it's snowing where you are. Nancy, we have already had more cold weather here in central North Carolina that we usually do, but all in all, it's been nice. Lots of dreary weather and rain. It's so dark here today. I know you want to be done with this little book, don't you? Yes, I do. I do. It's not been my favorite one. Next time I need to find something with more humor. Okay, you guys, take care. Have a great weekend ahead. Don't overdo things with all the hustle and bustle. And I will see you in my next video, okay? Happy holidays. Bye-bye.